Hello, I'm not a historian or an expert. I'm just a native Texan tourist with a thirst for interesting history that seems to be left out of most history books. Come with me. Let's see what we can find.
Well, here we are headed down to the Texas coast, driving on US 183 from Luling to Gonzales and Goliad and all that area. And I'm always reminded by the beautiful, beautiful scenery that this is the Texas that the Texians were fighting for in 1835. You know, they always depict the Alamo and Gonzales and Goliad like it's the middle of the desert. It wasn't. This must have looked like heaven to the settlers that came here. Lots of water, lots of timber, lots of animals, lots of great soil to plant in. And then things started going bad. The Mexican government, they started having problems. It was a big thing. They weren't holding up their part of the bargain to protect the settlers from the natives, and all kinds of things happened that they tried for more than a decade to try to get settled and help and do it, because after all, these people came here knowing that they were going to give up their American citizenship and be Mexicans. But Mexico started trying to kind of go back on that deal. Well, so what's going to happen? Well, grumblings of revolution started happening, and the Mexican government started sending troops out to try to quell this in one way or another. And one of the things they did, of course, was they wanted to go to these settlements, and some of them were kind of fortified places, and take all their weapons, their firearms. And in 1831, the Presidio of Gonzales was given a cannon to use in defense against the natives, the Comanches and people like that. All right, and the Comanches in particular, when they would attack a settlement, they like to have overwhelming odds, and the thought of a cannon was probably a pretty good deterrent. Well, that was in 1831. In 1835, with grumblings of revolution and unrest and things like that, well, they sent 150 dragoon soldiers, okay, to Gonzales and demanded the cannon to be returned. Well, the dragoons couldn't get to Gonzales proper because the Guadalupe River and stuff like that, that's kind of right behind me here, was flooded, all right? And this was in September of 1835. And so they sent messengers there, and messengers from Gonzales came out here to talk about it, blah, 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 blah. And they said, well, let me go back and talk to the people there. We'll see what we can do, see if we can find the cannon or whatever. And basically that was a stall tactic because they were trying to mass up enough people to be able to defend Gonzales from these Mexican dragoons. But the main thing they did went down in legend. All right, they marked up a bed sheet probably, and they came out and presented their response. Finally, after several days, their response to the commander of the Mexican dragoons about the cannon. They simply said the immortal words, because they seem to last forever: "Come and take it." And that flag, or the story of that flag, is legendary, and there's many, many versions of it all over, not just in Texas, but you find it in lots of places in the South, in Georgia, and you name it, they'll have that flag with a cannon on it, and they said, "Come and take it." Okay, now Why am I doing this right here? Well, it's cool. It's a cool part of the story, along with Goliad and the Alamo and everything else. But this is where they stood up to the Mexican forces, and they did it right here on this very spot. Let's pan around, Judy. Here is the historical marker that says on this site, September 29, 1815, the Mexican government troops demanded the return of the cannon that they'd given them, and after 2 days of delay, stalling, they simply answered, "Come and take it." Well, that makes it sound like the 150 Mexican dragoons went, "Oh, well, we're sorry to bother you," okay, and they left. They didn't. What happened was they told them, "Come and take it," on the 29th. Shortly thereafter, on the very same day, September 29th, the strategy was to engage these Mexican dragoons, and on this very spot where they said come and take it is where they engaged them. 18 people started fighting to defend the Presidio of Gonzales, the settlement of Gonzales, and they did. Okay, they successfully defended Gonzales. 18 people whose names are actually inscribed right here. I love being where history actually happened. I'll show you some more later.